Hello everybody, I'm Mozzie and welcome back to my studio. Today I'm doing a digital illustration using Adobe Photoshop inspired by Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. And this illustration took forever, and there's a reason for that. The main reason is that I'm not very good at digital art, and this piece is part of my trying to learn more about digital art. It's part of me fulfilling my goal to do more digital art this year. It's like my art goal to do more digital art so I can get better at it and really explore if this is a medium that I would want to do more often, because so far I've pretty much only done traditional art and illustration and stuff. I've been very into watercolors lately and acrylic paints, and those obviously handle very differently than digital art. And there's benefits and drawbacks to both digital art and traditional art and all that. So I wanted to really explore and decide for myself if I like digital art, if it was something I wanted to do more in the future, and, you know, like, I just don't know at this point. So this piece was me really trying to explore how I felt about this medium. And then the other side of it was a part of my other New Year's resolution to read more. So I'm a writer, and not professionally, although I hope someday to, like, maybe not be a professional writer, but have published a book so I could say I'm an author, at least. That's like the end goal. I'm far from that at this point, but I do confidently say that I'm a writer because I write all the time, but I don't read very much. I'm a fine reader. Like, I can read things just fine. That's not really an issue for me, but I'm a very slow reader. It takes me forever to read a book, and I get distracted easily because I want to do things with my hands, like draw, or, you know, I have to be kind of like moving or fidgeting or fussing, and when you're reading a book, you don't really get that. Plus, I find it really uncomfortable to, like, be looking down at a book for hours and hours and hours. So I've been trying to figure out another way to fulfill that important goal of reading more, not only just for my personal edification, but also to help me as a writer, so I can learn more about other author styles and more ideas, and, you know, get all that information, like explore the field of writing while I try to get into it at some point. So I saw this post semi-recently on Tumblr about this exact topic, and it was like, you know, authors are always encouraging new writers to read more. That's, like, super duper important for writers to do, and I'm sure a lot of you are wondering how a lot of people, you know, just authors in general, or people on Tumblr or on social media, are reading all these books, and they're like, oh, I just read this book, blah, 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 and how they read all these books every month when they seem to have busy lives and they go to school and all these things. How do they have all this time to do that when you don't? And the answer is they don't have time to read books, but they do have time to listen to them. And when I read that post, my mind was just blown a little bit. A light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to audiobooks. And I am poor, as most recent graduates are, and while I think a lot of people in the world are, I just don't have, like, a bunch of extra money, so I can't really afford a subscription to Audible. So another, like, fantastic alternative to Audible or a paid-for service for audiobooks is LibriVox. I'll put a link in the description below to it, but it's this awesome service. It's a website, LibriVox, and an app, and it's spelled Librivox, LibriVox. And it's awesome. It's basically a bunch of audiobooks, audio recordings of volunteers reading public domain books. So you don't get a lot of modern books. You're not going to read Harry Potter or Twilight on LibriVox. You're not going to be able to listen to those books. But you can listen to books that are like classics. Like there's a lot of Dickens and Jane Austen and obviously Anne of Green Gables on there. So, I mean, it's a great option if you're just trying to read more. The classics are a great thing to turn to because, you know, see what the greats did before you kind of thing. And it's also a really great resource to have for students in high school and college who don't have a lot of time to read books but still need to. You know, teachers want you to read classics a lot, so LibriVox is a great resource for that, because chances are if it's like more than 100 years old, they probably have that recorded. Another awesome thing about it is that, well, for me at least, I really lucked out with this Anne of Green Gables, because sometimes the recordings aren't the best quality, and sometimes the reader volunteers aren't like the best voice actors, and that can be a big drawback sometimes, but some of them are fantastic. And the one that I got for this Anne of Green Gables was amazing. So I listened to, while I was drawing this illustration, I listened to the first 3 books of the Anne of Green Gables series: Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, and Anne of the Island. I wasn't drawing the whole time. It didn't take me, you know, that long to draw this. It took me like for frickin' ever, though. It took me like 12 hours or more to do it because, again, I just am not that familiar with digital art or how to use Photoshop for illustration. I just don't know how to do it yet. So this was me exploring. But basically the entire time I was doing this illustration, I was listening to those audiobooks, and it was awesome because the reader, her name was Karen Savage, and she was amazing, did all this amazing voice acting. It was really engaging, and she's a professional, like, book reader. She works with Audible, or she works for Audible for some of their narrated books, and oh man, she was just awesome, and I was totally engaged, and it was awesome. It was such a great experience. So if you're interested in reading more but don't have a lot of time and you like classics, I would definitely recommend LibriVox because it's free. It's awesome. And if you're a student, check it out. It'll save you some time and money and time. But yeah, I mean, this piece, I am very happy with the way it turned out. But I was kind of surprised with the way it turned out because it turned out a little different than I imagined, because I'm still obviously exploring the medium and exploring how I can use it to my advantage. But some things that I really learned in this experience were how to use blend modes for the different layers, and how to do shading and stuff. I attempted to do a lineless illustration, but that didn't work out, so I just kind of left that off. But I'm happy with the result, and I think that you guys will like it too. So if you're interested in purchasing a print of this or this illustration on different like things, different merchandise, I guess, you can check out my Redbubble shop, which I will link in the description below. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me ramble about art and Anne of Green Gables and books and stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I know you like this kind of content, and subscribe for more. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful week, and as always, keep on creating, everybody.